First off, I want to say my heart goes out to my friend James Adam and his family.
Hey, boy, you dead wrong if you think I'll ever let you try me. And I'm on parole, but I'll never go without it. Look, never held my head down on 10 toes about it. Took my time showing these diamonds, I know they iron. I say, Pat, like, bro, why is you smiling? This nigga wild. They were trying to give me 200 years, they were trying to hide me. How you get 200 years without a body? Mama shed too many tears, no more crying. They say I threw my mans out. When you on the move, sometimes it don't go how it was planned out. You wouldn't understand how a whole lot of trials and tribulations got me this far. Rest up, cause your grandson made it this far. I'm just glad that last ride was the back of a bat. He was son like Cam Newton, had a whole lot of hats. This shit I put my family through, I'm just glad to be back. I been a big dog, fool, I was never a rat. If you kept me talking in facts, I put the hood on my back. I put your face on the shirt if you put my name in your rap. The streets to the cage I dealt, they say I changed that cap. If you see me hang, that's rough. Through all of that pain, you in there.
Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. YFN Lucci, he back dropping music. He recently released the song January 31st, or it has another alternate title called My Truth. This song got over 1 million views in 24 hours. I hear a lot of people saying that some of these views are fake. People are looking at some of the analytics. However, YouTube people do. They saying that some of these views are fake. Now, me personally, I don't think these views are fake. And I want y'all to get in the comments. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think these views are fake? I'm going to tell y'all why. I think everybody is anticipating his response to everything that's been going on with YSL. He obviously had a case that it was a lot of questions about. It was some controversial things that went on. So in his case, so I don't think that this is I don't think that these views are fake. I think people genuinely want to know what's going on. Him getting 1 million views in 24 hours, when you talk about all the things that he's been through with the YFN case, with the YSL case, with the surveillance footage that came out with him having the shootout in the Maybach. Y'all remember how viral that went. That went very viral, and it was still a lot of questions that people had about it. So people kind of assumed that he would address at least some of the stuff. And I'm gonna be real, man. Some people are saying, let me not say a lot, some people are saying he might have addressed too much. Now, again, that's just their opinion. He can't speak on this. The case is over. The case is closed. He on probation. Now, before we get into breaking down the lyrics, because it is a lot to get to here, it's 2 lyrics or it's 2 bars that we got to talk about. All right. The internet is talking about it. But before we get into that, let me know what y'all think about the quality of the song. I think the quality of the song is high quality. It's classic Lucci. It's what we want. It's what we expect from him. This is why it's got so many views. All right. If this song was whack, it would have had as many views. People are liking it and sharing it for a reason. It sounds like the old Lucci. It sounds like the Lucci that was making music before he went away to jail. All right. This the same flow. It's in a good way. It's the same flow. It's the same energy. The cadence, the singing is hard. He's speaking about the time that he was away from his children, and we got to, address the fact that, his homeboy did die in the situation. Now, it's not like an op passed away. The person who passed away was his friend, was his homeboy. So he kind of let everything be known. He kind of brought some things to the light. He didn't say too much, in my opinion, but some people say he did say too much. We're gonna get into that though. Now, YFN Lucci was initially charged with murder and some other type of gang activities, the whole RICO case involving YFN. We remember the video went viral of a shootout. I guess YFN Lucci was driving the Maybach. I don't know if Lucci was driving the Maybach or if he was in the passenger seat, but you could tell by the security surveillance footage, the car passed a group of people who I guess were enemies or guys they didn't like. The car went a little bit down the street, and then you could see somebody opening the door and kind of hanging their body out of the back of the Maybach to shoot, all right, at the group of people that they passed earlier. Now, as the video was playing, you can kind of see the person like tilt and like wiggle a little bit. It's not too graphic, but that motion, I guess, was bullets coming the other way. All right. So I guess he shot and missed. They fired back and they hit the person who was shooting at them. Now it's a 911 call of eyewitness basically saying they seen somebody get thrown out of the car. Now, when it first happened, when this incident first happened, that wasn't the case. A lot of people were saying YFN Lucci and his homies, they took the injured homie to a fire department, or they took him to a fire station or some type of first responder property where they left him, and hopefully he would get help in enough time. But from the 911 call, it seems like they kind of just threw him out of the car. I don't want to use the word throw, but they kind of just left him on the ground there, and they kind of kept it moving. That kind of looked crazy to a lot of people. And I remember when it went viral, it caused kind of a conversation. It caused a little bit of a conversation. Now, the first reason that this went viral is people was kind of making jokes a little bit about getting into a shootout in a Maybach. When you look at the footage, you see when they driving down the street, everybody's head is turning, all right? That's $250,000 car, somewhere around that area. If you're doing illegal things, if you're doing crime, it's probably not safe to do it in something like that that's so noticeable. So that was the first reason that it kind of went viral. And the second reason was the street codes, the street ethics, all right? People was talking, having a conversation. If you was in the situation, if this happened to you, if you was in a car and your homie start blowing at the ops, they blow back, they kill your homie, what type does that make you a bad person to discard the homie, to let him out the car? Obviously, y'all know you can't go to the hospital anytime a shooting is involved. Anytime it's any type of gunshot wound, police is going to be on the scene. All right, if you go to the hospital for a gunshot, or if you bring somebody to the hospital for a gunshot, once the doctors or anybody in the hospital hear gunshot, shot, bullet, shootout, police is coming, and they're gonna ask everybody questions, and it's just gonna become an active investigation right there at the hospital. It don't matter what's going on. They need everybody involved to stay at the hospital, and that's just a bad situation, obviously, if you've been riding around with guns doing crime. So let me know, y'all, was there some type of code that was broken here? Let's say you was the shooter. If you was in that situation, you was the shooter, you shooting at somebody, you die. And I know obviously this is hypothetical. In the afterlife, would you care if your homies discarded you? I'm gonna be real. You got to do what you got to do. If I'm in a shootout with somebody and I'm shooting at somebody and I die, I don't expect my homies to take my dead body to the hospital. That's just me giving my opinion. All right, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Obviously, rest in peace to the man who this was a reality for him. Condolences to him and condolences to his family. This is a strategic thinking media platform, and we just looking at it from that point of view. If you in the streets, you cannot expect people to take you to the hospital after you passed away. Shots have already been fired. It's already attempted murder. It's already gang activity. It's already so many charges. You really can't say that anybody should be disappointed or kind of shocked at the fact that they didn't take them to the hospital. If you read the story and you were shocked that they didn't take them to the hospital, then you probably don't read enough stories about situations like this, because more than likely, if you are doing a criminal act and somebody passes away during a criminal act, they're going to leave a body wherever they feel. They're not going to take them to the hospital. They're not going to take them anywhere where there's any type of recordings or there has to be any type of statements given. That's just not how criminals move. But I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that. Now, getting back to the bars of the song, it was two specific bars that kind of had people talking, all right? He had a bar basically saying, they say I threw my mans out. When you on the move, things don't always go as planned out. So he basically saying it right there. He showed some love to his homie. He acknowledged that it was his homie, and he didn't say too much. He just said things didn't go as planned, and they had to make quick decisions. And that's something that we basically all knew. Of course, it was people wanted to hear him say it, and they wanted to hear it from his mouth, but that's obviously the case. They probably figure, okay, we're gonna throw a couple shots at them and drive off. That's obviously not what happened. They return fire and somebody end up losing their life. That's obviously not his plan. So he's saying they had to improvise, but he did shout out his homeboy. He basically want people to know this was my homie, this was my dog. I love this man, and the only reason that we discarded his body is because he was already passed away. This was my nigga. This was my homie. I had love for him. Now, the second bar that got people talking, when he spoke on this individual, he said he was something like Cam Newton. He had a lot of hats. All right. If you don't know what that means, he basically saying the dude who got killed and discarded, and his body got discarded, he killed people too. That's basically what he's saying. It's a strategic thinking media platform. Obviously, the case is over. The young man in question is deceased. Again, RIP to him, condolences to his family. Those are what that bar mean. That's what those words mean. There is some conversation on the internet saying YFN Lucci may have said too much. But what do y'all think about that bar? Was that a graphic bar? Is that a bar that's going to lead to more friction? Is that a bar that's going to lead to more beef? I don't know. We got to see. And I also want to know, what do y'all think about YFN Lucci and Young Thug being out at the same time? Who gonna line themselves with Lucci? Who gonna line themselves with Thug? We already got Thug and Gunna kind of splitting Atlanta up. I did some content on that. Check it out. YFN Lucci and Young Thug is gonna do the same thing, man. Especially if Lucci's music is hard, which it looks like it's about to be. This first song was fire. If he come back with a lot of hard-hitting songs, emotionally charged records like this, it's going to be a long summer, man. It's going to be a very interesting summer in Atlanta, music-wise, street politic-wise. We gonna keep abreast to it, and we're going to keep our eye on the situation, man. Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. If you like the content, share, subscribe, and help the channel grow. I'm going to see y'all in the next episode. Peace.